I once watched a perfectly reasonable maintenance script report success across a rack of application servers. Green output, cheerful summary, no alarms. The next morning, one node still had the old service state, and the app team had screenshots. The script had tried the command, PowerShell printed an error for that one machine, then kept marching. The transcript had the clue buried in the middle. The catch block never ran. That is the PowerShell try-catch trap that costs admins hours. The error looked serious to us, but it was not serious enough to stop the pipeline. When you click around one server, failure is obvious. A dialog opens, a service does not start, or a console turns red. At fleet scale, you are not watching every line. You run a loop against 50 machines, maybe 500, and you trust the objects at the end. The naive script wraps the whole thing in try and catch, then assumes catch means all failures are handled. But most Camlet errors are non-terminating errors. They complain, they write to the error stream, and the script continues. If your summary is just count of items processed, you may be counting attempts, not successes. Here is the core idea. Try and catch catches terminating errors. A terminating error says stop this operation and jump to catch. Many commandlets by design produce non-terminating errors, so one bad item does not kill an entire pipeline. That behavior is useful until you expect catch to notice it. The admin fix is direct. On the risky commandlet, use -ErrorAction Stop. Now that failure becomes catchable for that command. Then catch should not become a drama scene. Log the machine, log the operation, log $option.message, record success as false, and let the loop continue. Fleet scripts should fail item by item, not vanish into one giant crash. The pattern is small enough to memorize. Start your loop. Inside the loop, put try around the risky line, not around your whole script. For example, try, then get service, name spooler, ErrorAction Stop. If it works, output a custom object with computer name, success equals true, and the value you needed. In catch, output a custom object with computer name, success equals false, and error equals $X, Exception.Message. Collect those objects in a variable, show them with format table if you are at the console, and save them with Export-Csv, NoTypeInformation. The important command detail is ErrorAction Stop. The important design detail is that both success and failure return the same shape of object. Picture a help desk escalation. Users in one branch cannot print, and the team wants to know whether the spooler service is running on 10 print-related servers. You have a text file of names. For each computer, you run invoke command -computer name $computer -script block get service -name spooler ErrorAction Stop. That risky remoting call sits inside try. On success, your object records the computer, service status, and no error. On failure, maybe the server is offline, remoting is blocked, or the name is wrong. Catch records the computer and $Exception.Message. The script does not stop at server 3. It produces 10 rows, including the one that failed, which is exactly what an operator needs. A few things still bite good admins. First, do not wrap 200 lines in one try, and then wonder which statement failed. Keep the risky command close to its catch. Second, ErrorAction Stop affects PowerShell commandlet errors, not every external program. Native executables may write scary text and still exit 0, or they may fail and require you to inspect $last exit code. Third, Windows PowerShell 5.1 and PowerShell 7 handle try and catch the same way, but PowerShell 7 adds foreach object parallel. Parallel work can make logs arrive out of order, so include the computer name on every row. Finally, do not use silently continue here unless you truly intend to suppress evidence. This sits right in the foundations tier because every later admin skill depends on trustworthy control flow. When you touch Active Directory, group policy objects, event logs, services, scheduled tasks, or file access control lists, you need the same habit. Each target gets an object, each object says whether it worked, and every failure carries a useful message. Try and catch is not just a syntax feature. It is how you make automation explain itself after you have gone for coffee. Later, when we add remoting, jobs, and fleet reporting, this same pattern becomes your audit trail. If a script cannot tell you what failed, it is not production ready. Try this safely on your own workstation. Create an array with 3 service names, BITS, Spooler, and a fake name like NoSuchService. Loop through the names. Inside try, run get service-name $name, ErrorAction Stop. On success, output a custom object with name, success, status, and error. In catch, output the same properties, but success is false and error is $Exception.Message. Send the result to format table, then Export-Csv to a file in your current folder. Then remove ErrorAction Stop and run it again. Notice the difference. That is the lesson you want burned into muscle memory before you touch servers. 3 beats to keep. First, most cmdlet errors are non-terminating, so try and catch may ignore the exact failure you care about. Second, add ErrorAction Stop to the risky command when you need catch to handle it. Third, in fleet scripts, catch should log the target, record the failure, include $Exception.Message, and keep the loop moving. That is the difference between red text lost in a console and a report an admin can act on. This is episode 16 in the Foundations tier. New PowerShell and Windows Administration episode daily on this channel.